Previously on the Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve.
As Chief Warden, you were responsible for overseeing the execution of 4, eh? You better pack your things, laddie. As soon as he told me that, my mind just went completely blank. The professor, the most hated killer, I let him escape. I'm finished. My life.
Hey guys, welcome back to Ace Attorney Investigations, Great Ace Attorney Investigations 2 Resolve. We just got done with the first trial of Case 4, and man, some serious stuff went down last time. I don't even know. I was like speechless at the end of that. Just like, good lord, man. I still can't believe what just happened. You're telling me. I know. I inquired with the bailiff after the court session was adjourned. You did? Did he say dude a lot? And it seems Mr. Vigil was taken to hospital to recover. Right. Yeah. Oh, thanks for the flashback here. Man, this man is chunky. 10 years ago now. Mr. Vigil attempted to commit suicide by jumping out of the window of the prison governor's office. But ever since then, he's completely blocked the memory of those events from his mind. Nobody knew his secret. Not his family. Not even the man himself. But I forced it out into the open. Was it wrong of me to do that? Did I overstep the mark, I wonder? This kind of reminds me of what Edgeworth kind of did with Adrian Anders a little bit, but not quite the same, but still. Bruno, oh god, I was wondering where you were. We haven't seen you in so long now. Well, I don't even know if we've seen you in this case yet, but well, yeah, we saw her at the beginning. Anyway. Oh, Iris. You were miles away. Anyway, I brewed a fresh pot of soothing tea for you. Oh my gosh. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, tea makes everything better. You and Susie have had an exhausting day so far, haven't you? Yeah, I suppose. Oh. Thank you, Iris. How thoughtful of you. What time is it right now? I should have looked at the thing. Do you happen to know where Mr. Holmes is? When we came out of the courtroom back into the defendant's antechamber, he'd disappeared. That's not good. We do know he's tangentially involved. Maybe even more than tangentially, but, I don't know. He just suddenly sprang to his feet and left. All he said was, I must leave. That's cryptic. In a very simple way. I wonder if he's pursuing the mystery of Inspector Gregson's death. Huh? Well, you know what Hurley's always saying, don't you? There are mysteries in this world that should perhaps never be solved. Huh. So stop solving them! For the construction of a solution comes only at the expense of the destruction of something else. What does that mean? You know, finding out the truth means somebody might have to pay the price by having something revealed about them that maybe they didn't want people to know. He knows very well, and when you open someone else's old wounds, you often open your own too. But he just can't take his own advice and leave well enough alone. Solving mysteries is too important to him. That's so true. Well, but that's what I like about Hurley, after all. I suppose that's the lot of a great detective in some ways. Man. So then, are you ready to have your mind blown? Oh, okay. Sure. Yeah, a hand with what? You have time, Iris. Yes, I finished this month's manuscript at last, with barely a day to spare before the deadline. Oh, gotta love deadlines. Oh, I'm so looking forward to it. A brand new story to read in the adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Oops. You know, I always hide Hurley's violin in the days before I have a deadline. Yeah, so we can't play and distract you? I'm sure that's very wise, Iris. How sensible of you. Now then, my dear fellows, let's make a plan of action before we continue our investigation. Alright. Like, I don't know what we're even gonna be investigating here. I guess we're gonna be talking to a lot of people, if I had to guess. Oh, this morning's trial. Yeah, so it's like afternoon now. So how'd it go in court this morning? Amazing, actually. Well, we still don't know the truth about what really happened, but one thing is increasingly clear. Lord Van Zeeks definitely didn't do it. Oh, good. Wow. That's actually what she said. Yeah, that's right. We managed to uncover several new facts as well. Oh, really? Oh, Early. Olga Orly. And there was another development, too. Kazuma. Yeah, it's quite clear now. I mean, it's quite clear now that Kazuma-sama's not himself. The way he's acting, it's almost as if he's possessed. But that's not it. It's not though, because that was like channeling, you know. There hasn't been any of that sort of thing in this game at all, though. So it's kind of weird to see them say that. I know, I mean, at the end of the proceedings earlier, he was like a bloodhound the way he was chasing down Mr. Vigil's forgotten past. He's not normally so mercilessly persistent. I mean, you know, when it's the guy who killed your dad, you know, or that we think killed your dad, what's going on in his head, I wonder? I really need to sit down with Kazuma and try to understand what he's going through. There you go, that's a good way to put it, what he's going through. It's not just, oh, he's being bad, we need to spank him, even though I'm sure he'd love to do that. Reaper's innocence. If Gregson was really murdered the day before his body was discovered, then Lord Van Zieks has to be innocent, you see.
What? The day before?
Yeah.
Well, that should be easy enough to work out, just by examining the corpse, surely.
Well, that's what I thought too.
Yeah, you would expect so, but curiously, no time of death was included in the autopsy report. That is curious.
Curiouser and curiouser. There are still unanswered questions about Lord Van Zieks, though, aren't there?
Oh, do you mean...
I mean, what was he doing there on Fresno Street that day in the first place? That is a good question.
Well, according to the man's testimony, he said he was investigating Inspector Gregson, didn't he?
And it turns out that little room was actually the inspector's secret office. Just as I thought.
Oh, that sounds like it has all the makings of a wonderfully devilish plot.
But then why was that notice board in there covered in all those particular papers? Papers about cases with a link to the past. I'm starting to get a bad feeling about all this. I need to get my butter sword.
Oh dear, that sounds more like something horribly devilish.
We must start by looking into Inspector Gregson's movements of late. But, oh god, his movements? I don't want to know, dude. Alright, let's hear about it. I never imagined I might have to be investigating an inspector's movements. Oh my god, how many times are you going to say that word?
Well, according to the entry in his diary... Oh, he was carrying out an incognito investigation of the Red-Headed League the day before his death.
Yeah, I can feel.
Oh, you mean he was doing the same as Hurley?
Well, Mr. Holmes was trying to apply, whereas the inspector was supposed to be investigating. They were both doing the same thing, sort of. I mean, not really.
I do wish it had been the other way around.
Anyway, as it turns out, the inspector who went to investigate the Red-Headed League that day wasn't actually Gregson at all. It was Mr. Vigil, in possession of Gregson's identification.
You know what that sounds like to me? Establishing an alibi.
Exactly.
Oh my, yes, you're absolutely right, Iris. You're a genius!
But why would Gregson need an alibi? Yeah, like, why not just go there himself? He didn't know anybody who was gonna be there. Or did,
It would appear that the inspector had something to do that he wished to keep secret.
Yeah, wear a red wig. Wouldn't anyone want to keep that secret? Well, I mean, not that, you know, there's nothing wrong with red hair, I'm just saying. It looks better on some people than others. It's fine on Lukagen, not on Gregson.
I don't believe it. I always thought he was just a harmless lover of fish and chips.
But perhaps they were seasoned with something a little more potent than salt and vinegar. Really? Oh, you don't mess with the fish and chips, I'm sorry. No, you don't do that. No. There's some low things you can do in this world. That's the lowest of the low.
I think perhaps we should try to move away from food analogies.
Well, anyway. It was just an analogy, thank God. But maybe. It still could have been, though. It wouldn't be the first time that, like, a small detail turned out to be something. Like, a small animation. I'm sure that's happened. I'm trying to think of a specific example here, but well, I mean, like Adrian Andrews with the card. She's in there playing with that card, and then the card turns out to be really important. Well, anyway, if Lord Van Zieks felt the need to investigate Gregson...
Yes, I agree. We must try to find out what he knows.
Everybody knows something, and we gotta go get all this information. Mr. Vigil's condition, how's he doing?
Vigil, you say? Isn't that the name of the lady who came to visit Hurley yesterday?
Yeah. She's not gonna be happy. Watch her show up here in about a minute or so. That's right, ask Mr. Holmes if he would help her to find her missing husband. Only Mr. Holmes completely passed the buck to us. Actually, didn't you say that Mr. Vigil had been taken to the hospital? Do you know which one? Oh, let me just look it up here on my iBook. Ah, it's St. Sinner's. Oh, great. Yeah, going back there again. I'm starting to wonder if all the other hospitals in London have closed down. Or maybe the developers just didn't have time to invent a bunch of hospitals. But that's amazing, Rudo. You found the lady's husband already. Well, I suppose I have. By accident. By oxygen. 10 years ago, while Mr. Vigil was the chief warder at the prison, he was responsible for overseeing the professor's incarceration. No! So when the convict escaped, he was held responsible and immediately dismissed. Oh man, sometimes I really don't want to grow up. There's more. For 10 years after that, while he was ostensibly working as a peddler, he also had another secret job. He was paid by Gregson to be a stand-in, to impersonate the inspector, yep. To impersonate Gregsy? But why? I have absolutely no idea. Oh, Ginny was right. I'm starting to think all adults are up to no good now. Well, welcome to Persona. Including you, Bruno. What? Wait a minute, no, not me! I'm not even an adult yet, I'm like 20... Am I like 24? How old am I? I should really know this. Oh, I'm not in here, am I? Everybody else is, though. Man, why? I cannot see that man. He looks pretty good for 51, though. I mean, he looks pretty good for 45. 24 is the hottest age to be. Ugh. Gossip question mark. Anyway, alright, where were we? I haven't paid anyone to impersonate me. I know, but that's not the point. That means he has ties to the professor and to Inspector Gregson, though. So I do think we ought to pay a visit to Mr. Vigil, don't you? Back to St. Sinner's, then. Yep. Oh, man. But wait. Well, I think it's clear what we need to do, isn't it? Let us investigate, my dear fellows. Oh, Iris, you're even more enthusiastic than usual today. After all that adult talk. If anyone has anything to hide, my special Wilson shooting iron will soon set them straight. That water pistol? It's a hydrant, I'll have you know. It's stuffed full of a piping hot extra special blend of mine. Then I'm quite sure it will be very effective. I'd better be careful not to hide anything. Jeez. Well, it feels a little strange that Mr. Holmes is nowhere to be seen, but still. Let's go see what we can find out. Yes! All three of us! We're the Dream Team Bean! Yeah, okay. I'm not gonna bother examining. Oh man, I'm so into the story right now. Wow. I'm not sure why these are grayed out. Can I not go to those yet? I assume. That one's got the thing on it, so... Perhaps we should leave Mr. Vigil in peace for a little while. He's only just been admitted. No, I'm going there anyway. He's not in the bed! Oh well, guess we better go somewhere else. Let's go back and tell Master Luke. Yeah, there's nothing here. Examine. Let's see. There's a note. Oh, patient treatment notes. What do they say, I wonder? Endlessly obliging. I suppose that's referring to the patient in this bed. I would think so. And until Mr. Vigil is a little more stable, it's probably just as well that he has a kindly person in the neighboring bed. The endlessly part is a little worrying, though, isn't it? I mean, what if Mr. Vigil suddenly declared that he'd like to take a trip out of the window? Would this endlessly obliging patient simply open it for him and say, "Be my guest"? Jeez, dude. Man. Let's check with the doctor later. Yeah, later. Later, obviously. So what about you? These must be the patient's treatment notes. Let's see. Tendency to jump from windows. Remember to place cushion at base of wall outside. I should not be laughing. Aren't we a story up from the ground here? Oh dear. Poor Mr. Vigil. I can't help feeling that there's a better solution to the problem than a cushion, though. Finding something you lost isn't always a happy experience, it turns out. Pursuing the truth can be a very dark business sometimes, can't it? Yeah, I'm afraid it can. think that was pretty much the extent. Well, I'll check this, whatever this is. This notice caught my eye before, actually. I suppose it's some sort of slogan for the ward? A cheerful welcome message, perhaps? Let's see. Pay with good cheer, leave with good cheer. Well, look at that. You were spot on, Miss Susato. It's full of cheer. Cheer bits. I wonder how many discharged patients pay their medical bills with good cheer, though. Not too many. Once I had to have a very painful injection when I fell ill with a cold. I felt awful already, so why'd I have to suffer the sting of the injection as well as the bill? I yelled at the doctor. Oh dear, what terrible treatment. Wow, okay. Yeah, okay, we don't need to be here. Let's check something else here. Let's go to the prison and talk to Van Zeeks, baby. Take a dump upon the toilet, it smells like a fog. It's November 2nd. Local prison, cell 1. Oh my god, we're all here. Oh, Lord Van Zeeks is reading, look. I mean, what else would you do? You know, you can't bring a switch in there. He doesn't seem like he wants visitors, does he? He never does. But he must have noticed that we're here, surely. I don't know, maybe he doesn't have peripheral vision. Maybe he lost it in one of his fights. Oh, hey there. What do you Nipponese want? That's not what he greets the lawyer who's trying his hardest to prove your innocence, is it? Oh, well, excuse me for being in a little bit of a bad mood here. Life is not exactly great, you know? Perhaps not. Huh? Oh, don't make him repeat himself. He's already acknowledged that he was bad to you. Don't make him say it twice. I apologize. So what can I do for you, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, that's better. Lord Van Zeeks, speaking earnestly. Oh, the fog will lift over London for the first time in months tomorrow. This does feel very strange. What is that thing on his cravat, anyway? It looks cool. I must say, I was impressed. Oh, well, thank you. Do even better next time. Not by you, by your fellow Nipponese, your prosecutor friend. Oh. He was pretty impressive, I tell you. It's sardonic, don't you think? For a man such as me, so loathing of the Nipponese to be entirely at the mercy of the two of you. I suppose, hey. It's retribution for having played the part of the Reaper all these years. Played the part? Yeah, see, like, he's not saying he is the Reaper. He's just... You know, because didn't they talk about that in a previous case, that, like, he said, it's a role that I would adopt gladly, regardless of what it does to my reputation or whatever? But he's not actually the one doing the killing of all these acquitted clients or whatever. The Reaper's identity. You once told me that you gladly allow people to believe you. Oh, there you go, jeez. Man. Because it helped reduce the amount of serious crime that took place in London. Yeah, I mean, a guy that looks intimidating like that, you would want him to be the mascot. If keeping quiet and playing the part benefits the cause, a cause I myself am committed to pursuing, then why would I choose to say anything? But the henchmen of a criminal killed by the Reaper attacked you only the other day. And that was just the most recent of many attempts on your life, wasn't it? Someone is clearly profiting from your silence about all this. Someone is using you. There's that word, using. That's what they said about Strongheart. Why do you use Van Zeeks? Even though in the context back then, he was just saying, use him as my prosecutor or whatever. Believe me, ever since the Reaper first appeared, I've been doing my utmost to expose him. Or rather, expose the organization. I'm not gonna say 13, oops, I just did. That's a whole organization? Well, it has to be, like, you know, it's not one person who can do all that. It's inconceivable that all those accidents were orchestrated by one man. Exactly. No, the Reaper always appears to have very accurate information about the accused in each case. Which can only mean that somebody at Scotland Yard is involved. Someone at... You can't mean... Is he saying maybe Gregson was part of this? It's taken me many years, but I finally identified the central figure in this Reaper organization. I don't even want to advance the text box here, jeez. Okay. Let's hear it. Oh my god, that's not... That can't be. Not Luigi! No, no! I kind of, like, I'm wondering maybe why he didn't say anything sooner, but I guess it would make sense that he wouldn't, because... you don't want to play with fire, you know, for many reasons. Gregson the Reaper? Like, that's the last thing I would have thought. I thought he was investigating the Reaper, but it would make sense for him to be the Reaper with all that stuff on the board, like... But surely once you've killed the person, you don't need that information anymore. Why would you keep it pinned up to a board? Like, at least put it in a folder or something? I don't know. Gregson's secret. Jeez, man. So the reason you were investigating Inspector Gregson is because you intended to expose him as the Reaper? As I said, the Reaper of the Bailey is no single person. It's a highly secret organization with close ties to Scotland Yard. But there's no doubt that Gregson was a key member of that organization. Maybe he was like a mole or something, I don't know. Maybe he just got caught up in it. I don't believe it.
Are you saying that Gregsy, that he was behind all those awful criminals meeting there?
Gregson didn't do the dirty work himself. Oh, well, thank God for that! He was the tactician. His job was to covertly investigate the marks and plot their assassinations. In order to do that without arousing suspicion, he regularly needed a firm alibi. Which is where Mr. Vigil came in, posing as the inspector. Vigil knows nothing of the Reaper, but the room he rents on Fresno Street was almost certainly the headquarters of the operation. Gregson would have met the assassin there for briefings. So we don't actually know who carried out the killings, then. Actually, I do have a name. You got a lot of information for us all of a sudden here, dude. Man, I tell ya. Well, if you can name the man, you have the true identity of the Reaper already, then. He just has one of them. Or, if I can name the woman. Oh, boy. Was it that... Oh, my first thought was Dr. Courtney Scythe. My second thought was that person that was there with her that we never spoke to again. I don't even know if we learned that person's name. She's a young woman by the name of Asa Shin. Huh? Wow, okay. Yeah, oh my god. That's really weird. Just when it seemed that diplomatic protection would help her escape Japan and conviction. The mysterious woman was herself murdered in a small summer beach hut. And that woman was actually the Reaper of the Bailey. Have any killings happened since then? I don't think so. Like, of clients, I mean? Like, so yeah, people have died, but... Mr. Naruhodo, this perhaps isn't the place to discuss. No, of course not. We can't mention it here. The fact that she killed Dr. John H. Wilson. Yeah. Because Iris doesn't know, and it's very likely that the man was her father. What if she already knows, though? Asa Shin, I should let Father know at once. Yes, I agree. Well, I guess we still have Asogi to discuss here, so let's do that. Kazuma, isn't it? Kazuma Asogi. You say he's a friend of yours. My best friend? He's the whole reason I got to come to Britain. It was all on his merits, and probably his dime as well. I have nothing but respect for him. Yes, I understand that. Only the very best students are selected for such opportunities. And I had a fine demonstration of how sharp he is in the proceedings earlier today. He missed nothing. In fact, his flawless performance very much reminded me of his father. Genshin Asogi, the professor. Man. It's true that the aristocracy at the time was the root of numerous grave societal problems. They were abusing their power, playing with the common man as pawns in politics, in economics, in war. In many ways, Asogi was carving out a canker from society that we British couldn't deal with ourselves. Huh. But that's precisely why it makes no sense. Clint Van Zieks was a noble and upstanding man. He wasn't corrupt. Why did that damned Nipponese have to go and take my brother's life? Man. In spite of having once saved mine. Huh? Oh dear. Oh boy, okay, yeah, because, like, I assume there must be some reason why he had so much respect for him before. I guess now we're about to find out why that is. It was 10 years ago, on a foggy night. What was to be the professor's final strike had sent a wave of panic through the capital. So Clint Van Zieks had already been killed at this point, then. Genshin and I were walking down some back streets at a late hour. Of course, at that point, I had no idea of the true nature of the man at my side. All of a sudden... Don't make a peep! You're coming with us, punks! Oh, wow! Oh my gosh, look at this. That is so cool. We were surrounded. All of our assailants were armed with pistols, their faces obscured by scarves. By scarves. Clint was not only from noble heritage, he was a brilliant prosecutor as well. The scum of London hated the sight of him, and they had no sympathy for his younger brother either. I'd been targeted several times before already. Yes, Van Zieks, alright. We got him, y'all. Let's do it. Let's shoot. I could hear them murmuring amongst themselves. I knew they were after me. But just when I thought my time had come... If I let them kill you, Clint will never forgive me. Huh. It was Asogi's voice, just a whisper in my ear. Huh. After that, I don't remember exactly what happened. The next thing I knew, there was silence all around. Genshin lay on the cobbled street. Blood was seeping from his left hand. He'd shielded me. Huh. Oh gosh. 2 days later, they arrested him. On suspicion of being London's most notorious mass murderer ever. The Professor. Wow. Oh. How awful for you. All at once, I lost the brother I revered, and the foreign friend I held in such high regard. So sorry, Lord Van Zieks. Boy, can this get any more tragic for him? God damn, dude. That's the end of my miserable tale. I never thought I'd recount it to anyone. Well, thank you for confiding in me. The Professor, the Reaper, and Inspector Gregson. I wonder just how intimately related they all are. I still can't quite believe that Gregson was essentially the Reaper. Ugh, giving assassination orders to Giselle Brett? Mr. Naruhodo, let's go and inform my father. I'm sure our government will want to hear about this new information. Oh, that means I get to meet your old daddy, Susie. Hooray! Yes, alright. Oh, we have a little bit of levity here. That's always a good thing. Head right back to the water... Let's right back to the... We're going to the hotel. Present. Maybe I could try some of this stuff, I guess? I don't know. What's that? Oh, it's just some crap I was hoping to ask your opinion about, that's all. It's a serious crime for the defense to attempt to extract information from the prosecution by illegal means. You're not the prosecution in this case, dude. I think we have more of a defense and client relationship now, don't we? well, that's that. I'll just try some other stuff here. Oh god, he's gonna say something about this? It's not for me. Oh, that's not why I was showing you it. Show me it. I suppose, if it was a black-headed league, you would have no hesitation. None whatsoever. Sadly, my own hair can no more be described as black as it could red. It could be red, though, like a newspaper. Ugh, what colored league should I then join? I guess, the silly putty? It's like purple and gray mixed together. It's cool, though. But it's cool! People are troubled by the most unexpected problems at times. Wasn't expecting that. I went through everything else in here and nothing got a response, and then that did. So I guess the armband will too? I think you know that this is worn by people in my country to show their defense lawyers, don't you? And I think you know that you've shown this to me 3 fucking times now! Oh, wow. But it would seem your armband may actually imply some dormant talent after all. Lord Van Zeeks, do you mean? Yes, you're good. Now get out of here. Let's hope you wake up soon. Yeah, let's be woke Disney. Well, that's not gonna touch that one any further. I almost thought I got a compliment there. Wow. Alright, we're out of here. Nice talking to you, Van Zeeks, as always. Wait, a new location? What do we get? Oh, the hotel, yeah, okay. Well, I guess since they kind of alluded to that, we'll just go there. Continuity and all that. 2nd of November, this is the longest day ever, let me tell you. Foyer. I love foyers. I thought it yesterday and I think it again today. This place is so princely. It's a wild guess, but I have a feeling you'll think the same tomorrow, too. My tea has a finer fragrance than whenever they're serving in the tea room here, though. Wouldn't you say? Yeah, well, when you gotta serve like a zillion people, inevitably... Look what we have here. This is an unexpected pleasure. Is it Daddy-O? Yeah, Daddy-O! What's happening? Rocking on the patio.
Oh, Father. Oh, is this your daddy, Susie? How lovely.
What a charming young lady. And you are? Wait, he was kind of more gruff, yeah. Oh my god, I'm shocked! So really? So you're the author of The Adventures of Herlock Sholmes, are you?
Oh, yeah. That's not his name, but that's me, Iris Wilson, at your service, sir. Susie's been such a wonderful friend to me over the last year, you know?
Oh, well, that's just like her. Well, Miss Wilson, I must say, I read your work regularly with much interest. Well, I guess he's the new Gregsy, then.
Iris actually lives with Mr. Holmes, you know, Father.
Really? Is that so? Well, perhaps that goes some way to explaining that bright look in your eyes. Aww. That's so cute. You wouldn't be smiling so airily if you knew just how bright she is, believe me. You'd be scared out of your mind, I think. Now then, young Naruhodo, it was a pleasure seeing you in action earlier. But that other guy was better, you know. As an invitee of the symposium, I was allowed to observe from the gallery, after I twisted some arms. Literally. And I must say, it was a truly exemplary performance. Ah, well, thank you very much. Although I'm fairly sure you omitted my Kazuma on the end there. No, please don't misunderstand. It was you who impressed me. You can't read my thoughts. Well, your daughter can read them, so maybe you can too. You didn't miss a step against Asogi, and we all know how capable he is. Really, to have matured into such a fine defense lawyer in less than a year is quite extraordinary. It's very kind of you to say so. And really nice to hear. Aw. Yeah. Only human, right? What I saw in court today confirmed what I'd been hoping for. The favor I mentioned yesterday, Naruhodo. I trust you haven't forgotten. No, absolutely not. I didn't forget at all. No, of course. But first, we have something to report, Father. No need to report to the gym until we have something to report. Of course. Stop quoting Phantom Menace. Shall we take tea while we discuss matters further? Oh, that's Iris' job. I wonder where Judge Jigoku has got to. Huh. He's probably sitting up in the hotel room jacking off or something. I don't know. Let's talk. About the Reaper. Father, do you know about the so-called Reaper of the Bailey? Who the hell doesn't know about that shit, man? I've heard rumors. Some members of the judiciary explained it all to me yesterday. Of course, when I was a visiting student here in London, the Reaper was yet to emerge. Right, he didn't appear until after that case when the visiting students had already returned home. Lord Van Zeeks, who was in the dock today. That was Barack, the younger brother of Clint Van Zeeks, I believe. Yep. That's right. And he's known throughout London as the Reaper, as you've heard. But the truth is, it wasn't him behind all those mysterious deaths. It was somebody else. Ah, I see. So what you're saying is, there's been a professional killer at work here. It's not you, is it? Something about the vibe when he said that, I don't know, man, I'm just reading too much into it. It's like, you try so hard to look for stuff that you start seeing things. Someone by the name of Asa Shin, in fact. Asa Shin, I beg your pardon. Was she your wife? Did you say... Oh no. Oh no. You mean that Giselle Brett woman who was responsible for killing my great friend? Yeah, John Watson, baby. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. So we're not going to be able to stop him from saying it, are we? That's why she's here, because this is where she finds out, isn't it? I think perhaps we shouldn't discuss this right now. Because the friend the professor is talking about is Dr. Yeah. Oh, and that's not something we want Iris to find out, but she's going to eventually, and it's going to suck ass. We actually shut him up. I kind of can't believe it, but... Ah, I just remembered something. Biscuits. This hotel has the most delicious-looking biscuits. We got biscuits. We got some biscuits. Huh, that was rather out of the blue. Yeah, the topic said Wilson's death. Watson's death. She's doing this deliberately, yeah. I think I'll go and see if I can purchase some. I wonder, would you like to come too, Iris? Yeah, please, take her away. Oh, yes. You just tried to leave me behind. Don't you dare. Alright, there we go. Good. So that young girl is called Iris Wilson, is she? Yeah, that's right. And she's the author of all those adventure stories starring the great Detective Holmes. But the name of the credited author isn't Iris, is it? It's Dr. John H. Wilson. Yeah, I know. That's the name of her father, you see. Her father? Dr. John Watson. I mean, it is Watson. I mean, if I'm changing Schultz to Holmes, I should probably say Watson too, I guess. Be a little consistent here or whatever. I was deeply indebted to the man for all the kindness he showed me during my time in London. That's why I was keen to reciprocate, and invite him to the Imperial Yume University 4 years ago. But he was murdered last year by Giselle Brett. Why? Why would the hand of the Reaper stretch all the way to Japan? That's interesting. I hadn't even thought about that, but yeah, that was in Japan that happened. Iris knows nothing about that case, but it seems very likely that the victim, Dr. Watson, was her father. Well, I can't say that we ever spoke about his family, so I don't know if he had a daughter or not. Is there any chance it could be his daughter, maybe, and somehow... I doubt it, but... Like, maybe Watson would have just adopted her and took her name, or gave her his name. But I think I can say with some certainty that he was never the great detective's partner. So it could have been another Dr. Watson, you think? Oh, god damn it. Why did this have to come up now? Well, John and Wilson are both common names, after all. So is Watson, actually. That chick that plays in Harry Potter. I mean, you know, just one example. Still, it's probably best not to mention this to the young lady until we can be sure. That's what we thought, yeah.
We're back with cinnamon biscuits.
Oh, that was fast. Oh, they smell delicious, Iris. Give me one.
I think cinnamon will go very well with the tea they serve here. Don't you, Susie? Susie?
Yes, I'm sure you're right, Iris. I'm sorry, I was right here. I just wasn't... I mean, Yeah, where's the judge go? I haven't seen Judge Jigoku for a while, have you? Guilty! Ha 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 ha! But that guilty is still ringing in my ears. What? Judge? Who are you talking about? Oh, now you mention it, I haven't seen him since this morning either. I suppose since the symposium's opening was postponed, he'll have gone to explore the great exhibition. Or he's meeting up with Holmes. They both disappeared at the same time, sort of.
That reminds me of something you mentioned yesterday. About Judge Jigoku having once been in the dock himself?
Yeah, because he went off at the judge for, Oh, yes, it was all tied up with that accursed trial. The closed trial of Kazuma's father, yep. Seishiro was trying to mitigate Genshin's guilt, so he took to the stand to testify. But he got a little carried away and, actually managed to break the witness stand. The more I hear about this guy, the more I love him. Oh, man. He also said some contemptuous words about the British Empire, for which he was charged. Well, Kazuma said some contemptuous words about it too, so... And he was the prosecutor, so... you'd think that there'd be even bigger consequences for him. Oh dear, although it's worryingly easy to imagine him doing that. Well, it was alright in the end. He was acquitted, and we turned home to Japan together. Thank goodness. Yeah. Oh yes, talking of Seishiro... I have a copy of the photograph we all took together here yesterday. Please. Is there gonna be something in the background of this photograph? Oh, look at us. We're so cute. He's holding a book. What a lovely picture. Certainly seems to shout we've arrived in Britain. What? This is in evidence? Photograph taken in the foyer of the Great Waterloo Hotel on the morning of Professor Mikitoba. Huh. Is there something on the back of it? None of us had any idea what was coming when we took that, did we? Not at the time. No. Maybe he's like sending me a secret message, disguised as a picture. Alright. Well, before we do anything, let's look at it. Oh no, we can't like flip it over, this is different. I got a little sweat on my cheek there. There's the man himself, just looking badass as ever. His luggage. There's my armband. So I was still wearing my uniform then. Susudo smiling cutely. And he's holding a book. And the book is really the only thing that kind of stands out here, I guess. But like, I mean, people carry books, good lord. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything here too special. Maybe like the symbols on their ties or something might be important, but no. Oh well. Anyway. So, the favor. The toilet. So you mentioned a favor that you'd like to ask me. I asked you yesterday. You're supposed to remember. Well, this faithful trial that you're fighting, I want you to lose. One way or another, it'll be over before long. And when it is, I'd like you to accompany me back to Japan. Really? You want me to do what? Father, what's the meaning of this? Now Susudo, you should understand. You've seen how our courts work firsthand. Japan's judicial system is in its infancy, especially when it comes to defense. Oh, you mean... The Supreme Court Judicature is in desperate need of a good defense lawyer. As soon as possible. Really quite urgently, in fact. What's going on here? He's calling me in for case 5, that's what he's doing. But I've not even been in London a year yet! But I was going to the Toshi station! Shut up, don't say that. I've read all of Susudo's reports, I'm well aware of your extraordinary talents. And having seen you in action with my own eyes earlier today, there is no question, we need you. You are precisely the man our country needs. Yeah, there you go.
So, you'd be leaving then, Runo?
Well, come with me! All of y'all, everybody come with me.
But then what am I supposed to do, Father?
Please don't take her away from me. You came here to serve as Asogi's judicial assistant. Oh god, that was the plan, wasn't it? In the first game, that was the original plan. Because when I first met her, like, we didn't know each other, and she didn't trust me. She was supposed to be there to help Asogi. And then everything went down, and it kind of changed. And she just ended up with me. But then we turned out to get along really well. I just forgot about that. Oh yeah, she's supposed to be Kazuma's assistant. Our government is still in the process of deciding how best to deal with his situation, though. What if she ends up being his assistant and we have to go up against him and her? Jeez. You've always chosen your own path, Susudo, and I trust your judgment. In this matter also.
Father!
Please, the pair of you, don't look so downcast. And don't use cast form, he sucks. At least that's what Emil says anyway. It's merely suggesting you understand. I hope, if I'm honest, but I won't force you. All I ask is that you consider it, and come to a decision by the time this trial concludes. Wow, that's not a lot of time. That's like 4 videos. I can't decide that in 4 videos?
You won't leave, will you, Bruno?
Thought hadn't even crossed my mind. Up until now, I've just been trying to do what I believe to be Cosmo's will. But it turns out that he's still alive, so where does that leave me? I don't know, man. Yeah, like I was wondering what we're gonna do in this investigation. We haven't really investigated anything at all. We've just been talking. Well, now, if you'll excuse me. I need to telegram government ministers and the Japanese police with this information about Asa Shin. Yeah, of course, Father. Thank you. Let's go away now. I look forward to next month's installment, Miss Wilson.
Oh, good. And please do come to Baker Street sometime, won't you? We'd love to entertain you. We got a whole little musical thing we do.
I would be delighted. It'll never happen. Best of luck tomorrow, Naruhodo. And try to save the car. Give my suggestion your full consideration, won't you? Well, now that you put it in my head, what am I supposed... Oh, man. Like, it's not even so much going back to Japan that's the hard part. It's like the guilt I would feel if I stayed. You know, Kazuma-sama has always meant a great deal to my father. I'm sure he'd love the chance to meet with him and talk to him about all of this. I would love to be a fly on the wall for that conversation. Anyway, you okay? Asa Shin. Of course, it's so obvious! How could I have neglected to consider the possibility before now? What's up? You okay?
Harley, where have you been?
Oh, I just had to go get some of that Cracker Barrel. There's one up the road, but it's like in 2 hours from here. And I'm riding a bike. That doesn't help. Why, I joined you all for tea, of course. What an extraordinary question. I didn't notice you at all. No matter, no matter. Anyway, to more pressing concerns. Mr. Naruhodo, you must not go back to Japan. I must dispatch a telegram to your country at once. It's a matter of much urgency. To Japan, you mean? But, tell me, to whom can I trust the task? Quickly now, who? I don't know anybody!
Oh, well... My father has just now left to send a telegram to the Imperial Police Bureau of Japan himself.
Is that... I see. Are they, like, on a race to get there first or something? Well, he looked reliable enough for a bearded fellow. Where you saw him. I don't think what father sports could be considered a beard, Mr. Holmes. Nah. There's not a moment to lose. Kindly ask your trusty unshaven father to see this as sent.
I'll run. I will, but what is it?
It's a note. No questions at this time, if you please, Miss Susato. All we can do is pray. That for once, my deduction is awry. Have we ever seen him look like this? Oh my god. Every time they add like a new pose and I don't think I've seen it before, I'm like, oh, it always throws me off. Now wait, what did that say? Hang on a second. Doesn't that imply that your deductions are normally correct, Mr. Holmes? Now then. He just totally cut me off. You may be surprised to learn that I am a very busy man. I certainly have no time to hide behind settees and eavesdrop on other people's conversations. So that's what joining us for tea meant. I leave the sending of this in your hands then, my dear fellows. And off he goes. He just kind of dropped that off, didn't he? Did he not want to be seen with us or something?
He just sort of ran off, didn't he? At quite a pace.
And left the unpaid bill for his tea behind, too. Well, that rat bastard, the tea bill!
Oh, it's like 13 pounds, man! I must catch up with father at the telegraph office at once. And I'll run and call us a cab. Straight away.
She's really good at calling cabs, I've noticed. Maybe she has the Uber app on her thing. And there was me thinking everyone would be clamoring to pay Mr. Holmes' bill. Now I gotta pay all their bills and his. How do I pay the bill? Where's the card swiper? Man, honestly, like, Why isn't that a thing everywhere now? Like, Chili's has got it right. They just have the kiosk at the table. You swipe the card, you're done, and you leave. You don't have to, like, sit around waiting for the waiters to bring you the bill and then maybe come back a second trip to get your card, and a third trip to bring you the receipt before you can sign it and get out of there. It's like, just swipe the card and go, man. Anyway. Fresno Street Room, is there any reason to go here? I want to see it again. There is something here. I'm kind of saving the best for last here, although they did say come back later, so I'm going to go back as later as possible. Yeah, there's really nothing to do here. We can talk to the cops, I guess. There was a check mark there, though. Oh, Inspector. Oh, sir. Poor man, he can't possibly be able to focus on investigating when he's so upset. Yeah, these are all... Okay, I'm just gonna go. I'm not doing 2 more of those voices. Now, let's see. So, is Mr. Vigil ready for us now? Actually, we're kind of getting up there on time, aren't we? Jeez. Like, this is probably going to be a pretty long conversation, so maybe we should save it for next time. Let's just see. This is the ward where Mr. Vigil was brought, apparently. Never seen this in a while. To be frank, I'm a little worried about seeing him again. Oh, there he is. Man, that sound, though. Oh, the lawyer. Hello again. I feel so bad for this guy. Maybe I shouldn't, but God. Yeah, so, alright, next time on Great Ace Attorney, we talk to the man.